Yes, it has finally happened. The market is shifting. The Federal Reserve is getting ready to decrease the federal funds rate. We're seeing mortgage rates come down. And in today's episode, I'm going to talk about the 10 cities that if you're a mortgage broker or a loan originator, you would love to be originating loans right now in these cities, because these are the cities that have the highest increase in mortgage volume year over year. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children 18 plus, you are tuned in to the Loan Officer Podcast with me, Dustin Owen, and my main man,
JC.
John Coleman.
DR, what's poppin'?
Dude, I just came off a week where I got to hang out with our friend, Chad Gomel from ArchMI.
Mm-hmm.
He was on PTO. He was down in Orlando with his wife. Shout out Ritz. And we went to this conference called The Vault. If I said The Vault to you, would you know what I was talking about?
Maybe a bespoke speakeasy where you need a password to get in?
Potentially, that's where my mind would have gone.
Mm-hmm.
If I said Valuetainment to you, would you know what that is?
I would turn and run the other way.
Okay. If I said the name Patrick Bet David,
Would have shrugged my shoulders and sneezed.
Look, I reached out to our boy Mike Smalley, same exact thing. Me, I was like, huh? Like, I had heard of Valuetainment and I had heard of Patrick Bet David because 3 or 4 years ago when our podcast started taking off, someone reached out to me and goes, you should check out what this dude is doing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, his results compared to our results, I mean, it's like a Major League All-Star talking to like a 14-year-old prospect.
Savannah Bananas all day.
Well, that's where you and I should probably become, because they're hot, they're successful, they're talented, but no one's going to mistake them for being a like 10-time Major League Baseball All-Star.
Mm-hmm.
But like I look at what you and I are doing and like, no, we're the 14-year-old phenom, right, who is in 8th grade but playing on varsity and is already getting D1 offers.
Smoking cigarettes in the parking lot.
Maybe if it was 1970, but this dude, Patrick Bet David, no, like his shit's already taken off. So I didn't know who he was, really. I'd heard of him. I had no idea about his conference, The Vault. But it's in Orlando. All I knew is my boy Chad was going to be in town. And Chad texted me and goes, hey, I have an extra ticket, because they were doing something like buy 2, get 1 free. He's like, would you want to come hang out and come to this event with me? And all I thought was like, sure, why not? Right? It's on the back of my license plate. Sure, why not? It's how I live my life. All I thought is, hey, I get to see Chad. I get to say hi to Ritz. And sure, I go to a conference. Dude, I walked in, John, and there's some people right now tuning in. They're like, what rock have you been living under? It's probably like how you look at me when I question you about aliens.
Where was what hotel was it at?
The Gaylord Palms Hotel. They had the entire hotel in Orlando.
Okay.
8,000 people, mostly from the United States, but all over the world. I go in, and I'll tell you this. In terms of like no detail missed, this event had no detail missed. I didn't know it was as big as it was. I didn't know he was as popular as he is. I'm talking like everything was pinpoint accurate, neat, clean, branded. I mean, I even loved how they had things on the floor to make sure I knew exactly where to go. And then if I didn't know where to go, they had people all throughout the halls wearing easy to see badges and shirts.
Lanyard's my favorite.
Asking how they could help, pointing in the right direction. I go to pick up my lanyard, my registration. They force me to walk past every single vendor who is sponsoring the event before I could get to the line where I could get my credentials. And then before I could leave, I had to walk through their merch tent. I felt like I was at Disney or Universal all over again. You know, when you get off the roller coaster and they make you walk through the little merch area.
Horrible.
And then I went into the event. 8,000 people were in this conference room. Now, it was a little bit loud. It kind of echoed, but the dude's in the round and he's teaching off of a like 5-color workbook that they handed me that I thought for sure, like how soon can I get this thing thrown in the trash can?
That's what I was doing. It was valuable.
This workbook was like, you wanted to sit there and you wanted to fill in the blanks. The notes were done for you. And the dude's just going and he's going and he's going and he's in his 3-piece suit. Now, what did I not enjoy? John, of the 8,000 people that were there, at least half. And look, I'm going to say this is going to come out wrong. I respect the hustle. I respect the hustler. I love men and women who want to get after it and they want to make their own mark. Like please know, I'm getting ready to throw some shade, but I'm not doing it with like malice. I'm just doing so because it's just like, it makes me feel a certain way on my gut. I felt like half the people there were straight up out of the movie Wolf of Wall Street, or straight up waiting in like a big corral to be interviewed for like the boiler room.
Why do you feel that way? I look at everybody that's in the mortgage industry that goes to these events like that.
Okay, well, this wasn't mortgage industry. I mean, you had...
What was this? How do we even get talking? I asked you what's
You
up.
said what's popping. I'm like...
When I ask you that, I don't care. It just means, hey, man, what's going on? Let's start today's episode. Like, you talking about some conference. Yo.
Okay, well,
wrap
anyhow,
it up.
I will wrap it up. But it was one of those, like these guys are wearing...
What
cheap,
conference was it? What did they
the
talk
Vault.
about?
It's called the Vault. It's all about sales. It's all about running a business.
That sounds horrible.
No, but the guy's good. Like,
hold on, whoa.
Okay, half the event. I can't wait to go to the one next year.
So you were drinking the Kool-Aid.
I can't wait to go to the one next year.
Sounds like a Jonestown type of thing.
The other half, I was like, holy cow! I walked into the boiler room / Wolf of Wall Street. There's a bunch of young kids with their slicked back hair, wearing pinky rings, cheap ass 3-piece suits. And all they care about is the deal. Not taking care of people, not running a good business.
That's
the deal.
That's all salespeople do.
No, that's not all salespeople. There are some good entrepreneurs out there that run businesses that offer valid services.
People that are good and care about people that are entrepreneurs aren't salespeople. They're retired. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Does that you pick up what I'm putting down?
Yes. So anyhow, I don't know. Maybe it's just a shout out to Chad for introducing me to this. I didn't know what I was getting myself into, and my head a week later is still spinning.
It's probably from the drugs getting out of your system when they indoctrinated you.
You think they did when I walked in and I didn't catch it?
There's not even 8,000 people in this city. How are you going to fit all those people in?
It was pandemonium. It was absolutely
that sounds
crazy.
Terrible.
I picked up Chad and Rich for dinner. You went to Bull and Bear, by the way.
Trash.
Oh, you do not. Anyhow, that's a nice restaurant, one of my favorites.
Trash.
Anyhow, I picked them up. It took me 20 minutes once I pulled into Gaylord Palms.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, well, if you hate people, it definitely was terrible. But the conference itself blew my mind in every positive way, as well as every, I feel a little bit creepy and dirty. It reminded me of this, and here's how I'll wrap it up. When I first got into the mortgage industry, I knew pretty quickly how I was brought in and the type of culture that I was being introduced to and what I was being asked to do as a professional. And I knew what every stereotypical subprime rep stood for. And I didn't like the fact that we got lumped into the same breed.
Right.
When I'm like, no, I'm not like them. I'm not like those guys that you see in The Big Short going to the strip club, writing 3 no-doc loans for the stripper who can't afford those 3 mortgage payments, talking about how they got 3 points in the front and 3 points in the back. And bro, I just made $60K on one loan. I knew I was different, yet we were both mortgage lenders. At this conference, I walked in saying half these people are different. Half these people remind me as if they were in The Big Short or they were a character in Wolf of Wall Street. I still freaking loved it.
There's only one good thing about the movie Wolf of Wall Street: the drug intake. Other than that, passable.
Yeah, I thought you were going to go Margot Robbie, but nope, you went drugs. Anyhow. Hey, John, let's do this. I'm tired of you just blabbing. We're going to take a quick pause for today's show sponsor. We're going to jump right into the episode. How does that sound?
Thank God.
It is the biggest and arguably the best mortgage conference of 2025, and it is happening in Dallas, Texas. We are talking Sales Mastery, October 14th through October 17th. This is Todd Duncan getting together with Don and Gino from Momentum Builder and combining 2 awesome events into one. Sales Mastery was the very first mortgage event that I ever attended, and it's still one of my favorites to go back to. And I can't wait to be in Dallas, Texas, October 14th through 17th. If you want to join me and thousands of other mortgage professionals, all you have to do is go to salesmasteryevent.com and register. By the way, use the code TLOP for your discount. That's TLOP for a discount. Who else is going to be at this event, you're probably wondering? We have best-selling authors, we have performance coaches, and some of the best originators in the industry.
Okay, here are the top 5 places you need to originate loans from if you want to make money or something. So let's talk about it.
Well, it wasn't 5, John.
It's more than 5?
It's 10.
Jesus Christ.
It's 10, yes.
Oh my God.
There are 10.
So just rapid fire, bro. Like name the city and then one sentence of like something. So
if you want rapid fire, you should hop on our Instagram account at the Lone Star Podcast because I made a green screen.
Number 1 is Providence, Rhode Island. Number 2.
It is not Providence, Rhode Island. Island didn't even make
Dover, Delaware.
Rhode Island didn't make the list, nor did Dover, Delaware. Have you ever been to Delaware?
Stop.
I need a reason to go. Hey, y'all, can you give me a reason to come to Delaware?
Stop.
My wife and I are trying to do all 50 states before we turn 50, and we can't come up with a good reason to come to Delaware, but maybe you all can reach out to us. Maybe there's an event that you're hosting that I can come or T-Lop can come be a part of. Nope, Dover, Delaware wasn't on there. Think of the 49th and the 50th state. They're both on there.
Hawaii and Alaska.
There we go. So number 1, Anchorage, Alaska. So check this out, and shout out to all of our friends in Anchorage. We have some coaching students up there, right? We've put some people through our launch program, which, by the way, the next one starts in October if you're interested. But Anchorage, Alaska, the mortgage volume is up 44.5% in Anchorage.
Over what? Month over month, year over year?
Year over year. Year over year. So if you're a loan originator and you're in that market, what a great time to be originating. If you're a mortgage company and you're looking for what markets are hot right now, you should probably be looking at Anchorage, Alaska. Number 2.
Orlando, Florida.
No, you said, what's the 49th and 50th states?
Oh, Hawaii?
Yes. Ilo, Hawaii.
Bro, ain't nobody moving to no Hawaii.
The people are moving to Hawaii, or they're at least taking out a lot of mortgages, right? And maybe they're not moving to Hawaii. Maybe they're moving from Maui to Hilo, or maybe they're moving from Honolulu to Hilo. But Hilo, Hawaii, 38.7% year-over-year increase. Yeah, have you been to Hawaii?
I have not. It's
gorgeous.
Takes too long to get there.
It's a long ass flight. I'm not gonna lie, and I only went because I won a trip from our old employer, and I was like, man, what do I do? I cashed it in. We took the kids. We went for spring break. I wasn't excited. I grew up in Florida. I'm like, I grew up in a tropical place. I've been to the Bahamas. I've been to Jamaica. That's only a 1-hour flight or a 2-hour flight. Nah. I cannot wait to go back to Hawaii. Like, I can't. Like, it was that gorgeous. You should
buy a home in Uowu or whatever you said. The fuck you said it was.
Oahu?
No.
Maui?
Number 9 on the list.
I said Hilo. Hilo.
HELOC. Just add a C in the end and you'll be good to go.
That wouldn't be HELOC.
What would it be?
Well, HELOC is HELOC.
How do you spell this city?
HILO.
HILOC.
HILOC. What does the I stand for?
Shit.
Income?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yes.
Okay.
Number 3. I got this one. Boston, Massachusetts.
Never.
New York.
Nope.
Carlsbad, California.
You're getting close.
San Diego.
It's hot. It's hot there.
Death Valley.
Not that hot, but it's hot. It's very
Las
deserty
Vegas.
there. Yeah, let's go into Arizona.
Tempe.
Okay, Yuma.
Bro, nobody's moving
Arizona.
to these countries.
Well, I can tell they're not countries; they're states.
They might
cities.
as well be because I've never heard of them, Dustin.
Okay, well, I've heard of Yuma, Arizona. I couldn't put it on a map for you.
How you spell it?
Yuma. Yuma.
Bro.
Yeah. For my Puerto Rican friends, it's Juma.
Juma. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
but Yuma.
So
Yuma, Arizona.
Let's say you got relocated to Arizona. You said, you know what? I'm gonna move to Yuma, Arizona. Guess what? People are originating loans there at a rapid pace. Year over year, mortgages have gone up over 67%.
No, it's 38.6%, John. 38.6%. All right, number 4.
Okay, I got this one.
No, we're going the other side of the state.
Okay.
The
Bunny Ranch in Nevada.
We said did I say the state?
Yes.
Damn it. I misspoke again. We're going to the other side of the country.
Okay.
We're hopping on that plane. We're going back in the Eastern time zone.
I got Baltimore, Maryland.
A little bit. It's very close to Baltimore.
Philadelphia.
You know what's cool about Baltimore right now? This is not a part of today's episode, but they're making like a run at what do they need to do in order to convert all of their unused buildings into used buildings. So Baltimore can be a little bit run down in certain parts. Yeah.
Anyway, so
country roads take me home to the place where I belong.
John Denver.
Yep, but it's not Denver. I'm talking about Huntington, West Virginia.
Bro, nobody, again, this is the fourth city. Nobody's
here are the top
moving.
metros with the largest annual increases in total mortgage originations.
Bro, okay.
Right? So, hey, Huntington, West Virginia. They're taking out a lot
What's
of home
the
loans.
average? What's the average sales price? $16.99.
I got to get into my Redder account. Right?
You got to close 55,000 units in one of these markets to even break a million.
Cool. You know what? I'm going to take you someplace where they dominate football, even if they have to cheat, John.
What, Green Bay?
Even if they have to cheat.
Green Bay, Wisconsin.
College football, even if they have to cheat, they're going to win a national championship.
Alabama? Tennessee.
It's cold there, and lots of smart kids go to school there.
MIT. Harvard.
They don't do football well at MIT.
I got to Stanford.
Oh, Jesus. Michigan, Ann Arbor, Michigan. They cheated. They won the national championship. It's cold there. Smart kids go to their school.
SMU.
Okay, it's Ann Arbor, Michigan. University of Michigan is in Ann Arbor. Ann Arbor, Michigan, mortgage volume is up 35.3%. Anyhow, number 6. Let's get through this thing quickly, John. I know how you like to drag things on. So we're going to slide down. I once had a mortgage branch here for a hot minute back in the day. Their average loan size is probably close to $200,000. So it's one of the most affordable areas in the country.
Okay.
And what's cool about it is I've never heard of this area. I've never been to this area, but I can tell you this much. It's like 2 hours to anywhere. Like you can get to Nashville pretty quickly. You can get to Chicago pretty quickly. You can get to St. Louis pretty quickly. Evansville, Indiana. Evansville, Indiana is their mortgage volume is up roughly
16.4%.
31.5%. And I'm going to stay in Indiana for the next one. Just north of Evansville is a bigger city. This is a big city where Peyton Manning used to hang out all the time. This is a big city.
Gary.
That's Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson's from Gary, Indiana. Peyton Manning played for the Indianapolis Colts. Yes, so Indianapolis, Indiana, which is also where they do the NFL Combine every year. Okay, Indianapolis, Indiana, 29.1%. Mortgage volume is up. So if you want to be a loan originator and you want to originate loans where loans are being done right now, I'm going to tell you should probably check out what's going on in Indianapolis, right? Like, that's a bigger market, way bigger than Evansville. But if you are in Indianapolis, you could probably do Indianapolis and you could do Evansville. And I can't imagine that Huntington, West Virginia is that far away from you. All right, next on the list. You mentioned Columbus earlier, but we're not talking Columbus, Ohio.
Okay.
Let's go further south into the southeast, right outside of Atlanta, Georgia. We have Columbus, Georgia. 28.2% mortgage volume is up. Number 3, just east of Columbus, Georgia. This is a place where dudes love to go golf. It's at the beach.
Myrtle Beach.
You're close. Hilton Head, South Carolina.
Like, are rates cheaper here or something than they are around the rest of the country?
It has everything to do with probably population growth and
old people dying.
I don't know if it's old people buying. I think it's usually population growth, right? How many people are moving into these areas and how many people need to obtain home loans? See, Florida gets a lot of people moving in, but because we have so many retirees, those MFers are paying cash. If you're a mortgage lender, cash don't pay, right? We want people who finance homes. So these are obviously areas where you're getting population booms. You could also have a younger, like average household, like age. And obviously, if you have more young people in that area, those young people are graduating school, they're getting jobs, they're getting married, they're starting families. So now you just have household formations are so large. Like, this is why I don't see a housing bubble anytime in the next decade, is because of the millennial generation and how many of them were born, how many of them don't yet own homes, how many of them want to own homes, how many of them are going to be creating families. And when they create families, they're going to want to create a home for those families to live in, a home for those memories to be made. These areas, more than likely, if you looked, have a high number of people moving in versus people moving out, and the people moving in are probably younger. That's more than likely. I didn't do the research, but I'm a pretty educated guy. That's my educated guess.
Most people on TV don't, so you fit it along right
Yes.
with them.
So Columbus, Georgia, 28.2% increase in volume. Hilton Head, South Carolina, right below it at 26.4%. And rounding out the top 10. Rounding out the top 10, we are going to go
to a place or a city I've never heard of, so can't wait to hear this.
You have heard of it because your wife's from this state.
Ohio?
The other state that she's from.
Iowa?
Yeah.
Bro, this is a wrong list, man. I think you looked at the
I'm
wrong
gonna tell you why.
most undesirable places to move to in America. That's what this list is.
Davenport, Iowa.
Bro.
25.9% year-over-year volume increase.
Bro, nobody's moving to Davenport, Iowa.
I can tell you this. John Cornish, who we've had on the show 1 year ago, John came on the show.
Shout out, John.
John is a top producer. He is a hell of a leader, right? He's a mortgage industry veteran. He is easily the number 1 or number 2 loan officer in all of Lower.
Oh.
Now, if you look up John's production, it's going to fall under his production partner's name, Taylor Fick. But please know, when you see Taylor Fick in MMI, in Model Match, in Redder, Taylor is John. John is Taylor. Yep. Guess where they are? Davenport, Iowa.
He lives there?
Yes.
Bro.
Yes, runs a branch there. And he's not the only killer in that market. He has a couple others that are in that market doing $20, $30 million a year. And their average loan size, it's not like they're sitting in freaking Austin or Denver or Seattle with these larger loan sizes. It's still Davenport, Iowa.
Monsanto.
But they're still doing pretty good. They're still doing pretty good.
Let me ask you, where would you live in out of these cities, since you love these cities so much? Where would you go? You can't go to Hawaii.
Anchorage.
Or Anchorage, because that's like beautiful.
Yeah, I'm going to go anywhere that is beautiful.
So you can't go to Anchorage and you can't go to Hawaii. Where would you live out of these cities? Yeah.
Hilton Head, South Carolina, more than likely.
Fucking layup.
Yeah, right? Okay, if not Hilton Head, where would you go? I'm not going to Arizona. I'm not a fan. Like, I've been to Scottsdale, been to Phoenix. No, hey, I'm not hating on my friends in Gilbert. Like, I've been there in April, and it was gorgeous,
Arizona,
beautiful.
they have 2 downtowns there. It's kind of awkward.
But I'm not a desert guy. So,
you
like,
get
no
nosebleeds.
Vegas.
You get nosebleeds and chapped lips.
I don't find it to be pretty. Yes,
What?
I get nosebleeds. Yes, I get chapped lips. I don't find the desert to be as pretty as the mountains or the ocean.
The
or a
desert
lake.
has mountains, kind of. Well,
But they're not green mountains. I like lush mountains. Like, I want mountains. I want the Rocky Mountains.
Why? Okay, so if these
That's what I want.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm more than likely going to Hilton Head. After Hilton Head,
That's steep fall off.
If I can't pick Anchorage or I can't pick Hilo, Hawaii, then Hilton Head's the easy one.
You keep saying Hilton Head like it's
I know Ann Arbor. Ann Arbor.
Bro,
I'm gonna go to Ann Arbor.
that sounds horrible.
It's a college town. I don't know. Yeah, and then probably Davenport, Iowa, Indianapolis.
Stop.
I'm just trying to let
My
you
God,
know.
you're trying to find us.
I want to answer your question. All right, let's get on to some places that maybe you would want to live, John.
Okay.
Right. So I teased it in the soft open that we're going to give loan officers. Hey, these are 10 places where a lot of mortgage volume is being done right now.
Yeah.
Like more mortgage volume than was being done in years past.
Yeah, we just did that.
Okay, we just did that. But how about if you're a home buyer? If you're a home
Bro,
buyer,
is there another list of 10?
No, this one's only 7, and we won't.
Bro,
take this
that's
long.
17.
You can count. Good job. All right, so there are 7 markets right now that are extremely buyer friendly. These are buyers markets.
Okay.
If you want to negotiate with the seller, get seller to pay closing cost, maybe get 1 or 2% off the asking price. Which, by the way, 1 or 2% could easily be $5 to $15,000. $5 to $15,000, unfortunately, only saves you about $50 to $150 a month in terms of your payment. But you can still negotiate. You can still get seller to give you closing cost credits. These are the 7 markets where they are extremely buyer friendly.
I know the first one
What is
somewhere
it?
in West Virginia.
No, these markets are markets you know really well, John. Miami, Florida, number 1.
Sinking into the ocean.
Number 1. The median list price is $510,000, and they're currently sitting at almost 10 months supply.
What?
6 months supply is deemed healthy. That means there's too much supply. If you want a deal, you should look at buying in Miami, Florida. Yes.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Okay.
Austin, Texas. Austin, Texas. Median list price, $524,950.
What?
I feel like I'm on the Price is Right when I say it like that. Roughly $525,000. They have 7 months supply going on in Austin, Texas. They keep it weird. It's the state capital. Great barbecue. And only an hour outside is Dripping Springs, which is still today one of my favorite places that I've ever gone to adventure with a whole bunch of people. Breweries, distilleries, wineries, cooler temperatures, rolling hills, pretty stuff. Number 3, John, our hometown, Orlando, Florida. Orlando, Florida, median sales price is roughly $429,000, and we're currently sitting at 6.9, 6.7 Nope, 6.9
months of inventory.
months of inventory.
That's fascinating.
Home of Disney, home of Universal.
Trash.
Only 45 minutes to the beach. Gorgeous winter weather. Decent spring weather. Summers, hot as shit and wet as shit.
You're missing the most important factor.
And no state income tax.
Paved roads.
In paved roads. Because you're assuming they don't have those in Hilo, Hawaii or in West Virginia.
Well, I've been on roads and they're very pothole-ish, but, shout out to the expressway system we have here. They do, pave it, and by the time they're done paving it, they repave it again.
I would say because we have such nice weather year-round, meaning weather you can work in year-round, if you're a person who works in the trades, we do have some of the best roads in Central Florida. Like, you start driving in some other...
It's trash.
Yeah, those roads are all jacked up. South Carolina is one of the worst before you get to the Midwest. Midwest is terrible because they only get 3 months of good weather, so it's only 3 months that you can actually work on the road. So the 3 months of good weather you get in the Midwest, you can't drive anywhere because all the roads are shut down for construction. You try to drive there in other months, then the roads are just all jacked up from not being taken care of. Number 5 and number 6 are going to be also Florida cities, but we need to get to number 4. After we go to Orlando, Florida, we're going to go all the way up to the Big Apple, New York City. The median list price, check this out.
$755,000.
Did you cheat?
No, Dustin.
You're one of the best cheaters in school I've ever met.
What was it? I'm just clairvoyant.
786,500, 6.7. Oh, shit, there it is, 6.7. 6.7 months supply, 6.7 months supply in New York City. Still today, one of my wife's most favorite cities to visit.
New York is what, Dustin?
It is not trash. You can't say it's trash, John.
Literally smells like the word. New York was literally built on trash. It's the dump.
You were correct. Okay. Well, you're correct that it was built on trash. I'm not saying that New York was trash, but it is the number 4 most buyer-friendly market right now is New York City.
How is that buyer-friendly with prices like that?
Well, it's just a matter of if you can afford those prices, that is buyer-friendly. Okay? There's a caveat. There's an asterisk.
This? You said buyer-friendly.
There's an asterisk.
Okay.
Number 5, Jacksonville, Florida. What are you going to say about that?
Duval.
Yeah, Duval.
Nope.
6.3 month supply. Median list price $408,995.
What is
so
good
way less than New York, way less than Miami, less than Orlando, and less than our next city.
Jacksonville should be annexed. But go ahead. What's the next one?
Annexed into what? South Georgia?
Yeah.
I like Jacksonville.
Florida Bama line and whatever
we used to call Jacksonville the armpit of Florida.
It is.
It's not though. Since my brother-in-law, shout out to Matt Cangelosi. My brother-in-law lives up
sure
there.
He's listening.
He does listen. How about that? And he asked me, how come you haven't fired John yet? I go, because John brings the show.
You think
John makes it.
Listen, I honestly, on the way in today, I was like, probably episode 600. That's when it'll just cut on and it'll just be you. And be like, what?
It won't work.
It will work. It'll have to work. I've already planned this out in my head. I have 25 more episodes to go after this. I think that's technically half a year.
Please no. Please no, John.
Listen,
the people need you.
No, listen. It's time for a change, and the change is now.
Are we going to do open casting?
No, I mean, if you want. If anybody who wants to sit in this chair and just listen to Dustin talk at you, we are taking open apps right now. But anyway, go ahead. What's the number?
So Jacksonville, Florida has 6.3 month supply, 408,000, almost let's call it 409,000 median list price. It is the largest city by area in the country, and it's home of the St. Johns River, which is one of a few rivers that actually flows south to north.
Jacksonville is the largest city in America by size.
By
area, like
by
square
land.
miles.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Something crazy like that. And home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Don't
one of the most,
stop.
One of the most irrelevant teams in NFL football right now.
I mean, Shad Khan, shout out him.
Yeah, but my in-laws live there. My brother-in-law and his wife, my sister-in-law actually, it's my sister-in-law and her husband, the right way to say it. They live up there. And yes, Matt does listen, and Matt does enjoy you. So you can't quit because Matt likes you. Okay, and last, because it's only a top 7. A top 7. Drum roll, please,
Probably
John.
Seattle, Washington.
Probably not. Probably Riverside, California. Riverside, California. I love this. It's not $600,000 as the median list price. It's $599,995.
Bro, you can't find a shack in California for no $600,000.
It's the median list price. Month supply 6.1 months. Those are the 7 markets. This is all according to an article that I pulled up.
What article? World Star Hip Hop?
It was on CNBC. This was on CNBC.
Who wrote it?
Where else am I going to go?
I need you to pull. I need to see.
Mike Winters. Reach out to @Mike _ WINTRS. I guess he couldn't put the E in there. But Mike Winters wrote it. It was published on Wednesday, September 10th of 2025. Yeah, and it was published on CNBC. Don't get mad at me if you don't like the data, John. Get mad at Mike.
Hey, shout out. Listen, if you're out there and you need a home loan, Dustin probably has some people he can refer you to.
Correct. And look, if you like content that's more buyer focused and you somehow found the Loan Officer Podcast, check out our sister station on YouTube. It's called TLOP Knows. On that particular channel, it's nothing but content and information for the consumer, home buyers, real estate investors. That's where you can go to just binge tons of content. And the good news is most of them aren't 40-minute episodes. They're mostly 6 to 10-minute videos that incorporate some of the lessons that we do teach here on the Loan Officer Podcast. Do us a favor. If you like content like this and you tuned in for the first time and you're on YouTube, make sure you click the subscribe button so you can get notified every time new episodes drop. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple, we say thank you. Give us a 5-star review. It's because of those reviews that more people will find our content. If you have yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel and you are a mortgage broker or a loan officer, you need to, you got to. And the reason why is this. Every Wednesday, John is dropping either a free sales training video or a free coaching video on Wednesday. The podcast drop on Mondays and Fridays, but free sales training and free coaching, that's every single Wednesday, but you have to be subscribed to our YouTube channel. If you love free content and you love to read, then you need our newsletter. Go to our website, tloponline.com. That's TLOP online.com. Go to the newsletter, click subscribe, and allow us to drop into your inbox every single Thursday. And by doing so, we'll make sure you get invited to one free masterclass every single month. If you want to get a hold of me, first name Dustin, last name Owen, connect with me or follow me on LinkedIn. That's where you can also message me. The podcast can be found on Instagram @The Loan Officer Podcast. And if you're looking for business coaching and sales training and you're a loan officer, all you have to do is go to our website and you can see the 4 ways that you can ask us to invest in your future success. He's John Coleman. I'm Dustin Owen. That's all the time we have for you today. We look forward to catching you either at one of the many events we're going to be attending this year or on the next episode. Peace.